Okay, and we're live. Uh, Welcome to another episode of Spaghetti Westerns podcast. I'm Tom Betts, your host. This is season 4, episode 12, number 97. Today we're going to talk about an early spaghetti western, actually Spanish, Apache Fury. It's actually a cowboy and Indians western. Then we're going to talk about whatever happened to Roberto Camardiel, one of the great Spanish character actors. Who are those guys? Mariano Vidal Molina. Film of the week will be Keoma. CD of the week will be Keoma. I've got autograph, book of the week, and some posters. The autograph of the week and the posters will be incorporated. Okay, let's move along to the history of the spaghetti westerns and Apache Fury. This was actually called in the Spanish title El Hombre de la Diligencia, also Cerco de Muerte. Italian title is La Furia degli Apaches. And the English titles Fury of the Apaches, Ranch of the Doomed, Doomed Fort, and the USA title Apache Fury. It's a 1963 Spanish Italian co production, but it was filmed in Spain. It's basically Spanish actors in it. The director was Joseph de Lacy, who's actually Jose Elurita. Screenplay by Jose Maria Elurita, Jose Luis Navarro. Cinematography was by Alistair Nichols, who's actually Alfonso Nieva. It's an Eastman color and Technoscope. Music was by Fernando Garcia Morcillo. We'll see here that they tried to Americanize many of the actors' names. So I'll give you the important ones. Major cast is Major Steve Lohman, also called Joe Lawman in some of the episodes. That's Frank Lattimore. Ruth is played by Nancy Torre. Judge Todd or Toby Driscoll is played by Joe Punter. Roscoe is by John Martin, who's actually George Martin. Jimmy is Lucius Taft, which is Julio Perez Tabernero. Silas, Samuel Kelly, that's Angel Ortiz. Stagecoach Outrider is Joe Delaney, who's Alfonso de la Vega. Tucson Banker is Howard Irving, that's Rufino Inglis. Bert Capstan is Louis Moran, or Mark Vidal Mariano Molina. We have the cavalry captain is William Masters, that's Guillermo Mendez, and Fuller, played by Frankie Bradford, that's actually Francisco Brana. Story goes as when a stagecoach is attacked by Apaches, the passengers take refuge at a stage station. Unknown to the other passengers is the fact that Driscoll, played by Joe Hunter, has with him a fortune secreted away with his other belongings. At the stage station is Major Steve Lohman, played by Frank Lattimore, who was sent to prison by Driscoll years before so he could obtain his mining claims. All the while, another tribe of Puma Indians have a very strong reason for wanting one of the passengers, Jimmy, played by Julio Perez Tabernero, who mistakenly shot and murdered their chief. The Indians, led by Geronimo, attacked several times. With stress mounting and tempers flaring, a secret is divulged. Judge Driscoll is responsible for the death of Ruth, played by Nuria Torre, first husband. The embittered passengers put aside their differences and feelings to battle for their lives. The army, hearing that informed that the stagecoach is days late, arrives just in time. The overview of this is actually, this was filmed around Madrid at Aranjuez and Suenco and Toledo, La Mancha, Spain. The director, Jose Elurita, had a prolific career working from the 1940s to the 1970s. He directed all kinds of genres, so you never know what you're going to get when you see one of his films. Although the story is credited to one Eduardo Guzman, it is definitely based on a similar short story written by Ernest Haycox in 1939 called Stage Station, with some aspects of Stagecoach by the English uh, version of Stagecoach. Although the story is credited, I'm sorry, I just said that. An annoying, cheesy opening narration does nothing to help the film. The dubbed dialogue is also very laughable. It's one of the few cowboys versus Indians spaghetti westerns. It's an American looking film with a simple premise, almost like John Ford's Stagecoach or Hombre. Once the people are forced to take refuge in the fort, their true nature and identity of their past lives comes to the front, and they all seem to look upon each other differently. The film deals more with Judge Driscoll, Ruth, and Loman's love triangle than the desperation of the rest of the people's lives. More suspense than action for the most part. Decent but not memorable score, who uh, who the composer did for three other spaghetti westerns. It's available on French, Australian, and Greek DVDs. It's also on YouTube in English as Fury of the Apaches. Check the Spaghetti Western database for more information on the DVD releases. Actor profiles: Major Steve Loman, or Joe Lawman, was played by Frank Lattimore. His real name is Franklin Lattimore Klein. He was born in 1925. He died in 1998. And he was previously covered in episode number 68. Ruth is played by Nancy Torre. Her real name is Nuria Torra Esplani. She was born in Barcelona, Spain on September 24th, 1934. We know her by her stage name of Nuria Torre. She was a film and TV actress who appeared in 55 films and TV appearances from 1957 to 1989. She was married to director, writer, actor Juan Guerrero Zamora, who was born in 1927 and died in 2002. And she's the mother of actress Alejandra Torre, born in 1968. Nuria appeared in 5 spaghetti westerns and was best known for her appearance as Paulette Renoir in 1966, Django Does Not Forgive. She died of colon cancer on June 7, 2004 in Madrid at the age of 69. Judge Todd, or Toby Driscoll, is played by Joe Punter. His real name is Jesus Puente Alzaga. He was born in Madrid, Spain on December 18, 1930. And he was a film and TV actor who appeared in 131 film and TV appearances from 1957 to 2000. He was married to actress Maria Luisa Rubio and actress Licia Calderon. He appeared in 14 spaghetti westerns and is probably best remembered for his appearance in Juliana Gemma's 1965 Adios Gringo as Sheriff Saul Tex Slaughter. Puente died in Madrid on October 26, 2000 from a heart attack at the age of 69. Roscoe, Judge Driscoll's bodyguard, was played by John Martin, or that's what he's credited for. He's actually George Martin, born Francisco Martinez Solero, born in 37. He died in 21. He was previously covered in his own episode, number 45. Okay, now we'll move along to whatever became of Roberto Camardiel. Okay, Roberto Camardiel was born Roberto Camardiel Escudero in Alagon, Zaragoza, Aragon, Spain on November 29, 1917. He's the younger brother of actress Mercedes Camardiel, who was born in 1913. His father was a machinist and secretary of his union. He and the union opposed the 11 to 12-hour work shifts imposed on them, and he was declared persona non grata and banished from the village of Alagon, being guarded by the civil guard upon his departure. The family then moved to Zaragoza. Young Roberto attended the Baccalaureate de Escolapos at age 14. After leaving school, he entered as an apprentice at the Portobello printing press. He remained only for a short time and was hired as a delivery agent for the Post and Telegraph. He founded a group of Catholic youth of Santiago and an amateur theater company along with the brothers Horno Liria, one of them who became mayor of Zaragoza, and other members. He then took classes in theatrical interpretation and recitation given by D. Carlos Salvador Acaso, Colonel Chief of the Ponteros Regiment of Zaragoza. Lover of the theater and simultaneously his profession with the theatrical teaching. This military man, playwright, and lawyer created the School of Dramatic Art in Zaragoza and founded, along with his brother, the Jose Maria Herzl School, Hermano Salvador Theater, of which Roberto Camardiel was a member. At 16, he began his uh, acting in towns near Zaragoza, and in the year 1938, at the age of 20, he worked in the theater of Guadalajara and interpreting El Tenorio with Ismael Merlo, and both were mobilized to the front of the Spanish Civil War. After the Civil War, he returned to Zaragoza and was mobilized to serve for his 5-year military service, serving about 3 years in the Military Health Regiment number 5, where he was drawn by lot and located in front of was now known as the Hospital Military of the Defense of Zaragoza. He then moved to Madrid and continued his artistic career, first as a company director and as beau in comedies, and later as comedian in the theater companies of entrepreneurs Calzada and Munoz Roman. His filmography included 28 spaghetti westerns, including different roles, some as co-star and others in the secondary role. Some of his better-known films were The Big Gun Down as Sheriff Jericho, For a Few Dollars More as the Tucumcari Railroad Agent, Adios Gringo as Dr. Barfield, the son of Jesse James as Alfonso Altamoros, Murrieta as Three-Fingered Jack, Arizona Colt as Double Whiskey, Django Kill as Zorro or Sorrow, Gatling Gun as Don Curtis, A Train for Durango as Lobo, Tequila played Fuzzy, and his final western, The Black Wolf, he plays a judge. After a career of more than 50 years as a theater director, theater and film actor, in 1983 he retired at 66. He sold his flat in Madrid and moved to Zaragoza and his sister's flat in the Quezon urbanization of the ACTUR district. This decision was partly conditioned by two important aspects. On the one hand, with his age, if his sister no longer could work in the world of cinema, where there was more and more competition by younger talent, and the other, his sister had just become a widow, and he felt he needed to return to live with her. In 1985, his sister was offered a small role in the RTV series Goya, which she plays the Maestro Luzanne. This would be the last role she played. It is then when doctors detect a sudden bone disease in Roberto, which he was diagnosed and given only a few months to live. He died on June 15, 1986 in Zaragoza. His friends said of him, a magnificent actor, but an even more generous and better person. Okay, let's move on to who are those guys. It's amazing that a lot of these actors appeared in 100 or so films, played major roles, were stars or co-starring actors, but there's little written about them. Take, for example, Mariano Vidal Molina. Mariano Vidal Molina was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina on October 23, 1925, and got a start in show business at Radio Belgrano under the direction of acting teacher Hedy Srila in a program Las Aventuras de Andresito. He then appeared on several radio soap operas and photo novels that appeared in such magazines as Nocturnal, Anahi, and others. He formed a duo with actress Maria Vayner and worked in the theater Teatro del Aire with the Francisco Patron Acting Company. His first film appearance was in the Argentinian film El Vampiro Negro in 1953. Molino then appeared in 12 more films in Argentina before moving to Spain in 1963. Mariano picked up where he left off, appearing in the European Western Apache Fury, which we just covered. Molino would go on to appear in over 70 TV and film appearances until his last one, an episode of the TV series Historias de Otro Lado in 1991. Molino acted under such pseudonyms as Vidal Molino, Mariano Vidal, and Tom Griffith. In the 16 Western films he made, he appeared under the names Vidal Molino and Mariano Vidal Molino. For whatever reason, Molino never rose to more than a supporting actor. He had the looks and authoritative demeanor to be a star and held his own in appearances with such actors as Anthony Stephan, Guy Madison, Robert Woods, and Frank Lattimore. His westerns would be considered B films such as Ballad of a Bounty Hunter, Five Giants from Texas, Gentleman Killer, White Comanche, and Reverend Colt. He also did some voice work for several Spanish supporting and character actors. Molino appeared in 18 spaghetti westerns under several pseudonyms such as Tom Griffith, Johnny Harrison, William Mender, Vidal Molino, Luis Moran, John Sullivan, and Mark Vidal. Before retiring from the screen in 1991 for whatever reason, and he passed away on February 20, 1996 in Madrid at the age of 70. I'll post the filmography of both Camardiel and Molina after the broadcast. Okay, now let's talk about the film of the week. Okay, film of the week is one of the greats and appeared in the end of the genre. It's Keoma. Italian title was Keoma, also in Italian Mon nome est Keoma, and in Keoma il Vendicatore. The USA titles were Django's Great Return, Desperado, and Keoma the Avenger. It was a 1975 Italian production by Uranos Cinematography out of Rome. Producer was Manolo Bolognini. Director was Enzo Di Castellari. Story was by Luigi Montefiore, who we know as George Eastman. Screenplay was by Mino Roli, Nico Ducci, and Montefiore, and Castellari. Cinematography was by Ace Perelin, was in Eastman Color and Technoscope. Music by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis, with songs by Sybil and Guy, and by Guy alone. I'll get into them in the CD portion of the broadcast. Running time was 105 minutes. Main characters were Keoma Shannon, played by Franco Nero, Lisa or Liza Farrow played Olga Carlatos, George was played by Woody Strode, William Shannon was played by William Berger, Caldwell was played by Donald O'Brien, Butch Shannon was played by Orso Maria Chiarini. A couple of the other names you might recognize, and this is one of the treats of the film, was watch for these guys as Caldwell henchmen. Ken Wood, Arnaldo Dell'Acqua, Roberto Dell'Acqua, Riccardo Pizzuti, and the Yuckmar brothers, Franco, Clemente, Giovanni, and Sergio. And the story goes as such. Keoma, played by Franco Nero, a half-breed Indian who returns to his native country after having fought in the Civil War. Unfortunately, he finds many things have changed. The town is in the grip of a plague and controlled by a tyrant named Caldwell, played by Donald O'Brien. And everyone is against him except his stepfather, William Shannon, played by William Berger, an old friend named George, played by Woody Strode. Keoma's three brothers, who have mistreated him his entire life, have joined Caldwell in his reign of terror. Along for the ride, Keoma has visions of an old woman credited as the witch, played by Gabriella Giacobbe, who saved him from a massacre of the Indians years before, and it seems to have a strong effect on him. With the help of both his father and George, Keoma tries to return things to the way they were before his departure, but will have to face off with his stepbrothers. In a ferocious battle, Keoma kills most of the Caldwell's henchmen, but his father and George are killed in the process and is captured and tied to a wheel in the town center. Like Jesus Christ, Keoma comes off his cross and gets to duel it out with his brothers and finds himself in the process. DVDs are available out of the USA, Germany, UK, France, Italy, Spain, Brazil, the Netherlands, Thailand, Japan, and Czechoslovakia. Blu-rays are available in the US, the UK, France, Spain, and Korea. Check with the Spaghetti Western database for more information. In the film overview, Castellari creates a strong atmosphere disguising a deteriorating town set of Ilios using the holes and missing boards in buildings to shoot creative camera shots. The town is always slowly covered in smoke and fog. He puts a mind frame in front of the Telltale Church, which, if you look closely, you can still see and make out behind it. This produces an almost psychedelic feeling, especially with the flashbacks and whenever the witch is present. This makes Keoma a seriously moody film. You've never heard a score like this in any previous spaghetti, and Enzo said he got the idea while preparing for the following day's shooting by listening to Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan songs. I'll cover this more in the CD of the week. As I mentioned before, Elio's town site was almost in ruins, so Enzo disguised it and used smoke to create a fog so deteriorated buildings could not be seen, and mining buildings' facades were built to cover the church and what was left of the other buildings. When Keoma tells his brother he has 4 bullets, one for each of them, that's Enzo's fingers in front of the camera. Joshua Sinclair, who played Cam, or Sam Shannon, is alias for John Lofredo, who was also a Rido, and Enzo had him help write the English dialogue. The title Keoma came from a book Woody Strode brought with him and was reading about an Indian massacre. So he got he got the idea of using that as the title. The crucifixion was borrowed earlier from a film he did called Johnny Hamlet, in which he used a similar scene. Okay, actor profiles. Keoma Shannon was played by Franco Nero, who is Francesco Sparanero, born in 1941, and we covered him in his own episode number 31. Lisa or Liza Farrow was played by Olga Karlatos. Olga Lassopoulos was born in Athens, Greece on April 20th, 1945. She's a film, TV actress, and singer. She was married to producer, director, writer, actor Nikos Papatakis, born in 18, died in 2010, and producer, director, writer Arthur Rankin Jr., born in 1924. He died in 2014. They were married from 1983 to 2014. She's appeared in 45 films and TV appearances from 1966 to 1986. She appeared in only 2 spaghetti westerns. George, played by Woody Strode, was born Woodrow Strode in 1914 and he died in 1994. We've covered Woody before in his own episode, number 65. Okay, William Shannon was played by William Berger. Wilhelm Berger was born in 1928 and he died in 1993. We covered him in his own episode, number 14. Caldwell, played by Donald O'Brien, was born Donald, D-O-N-A-L, no D, O'Brien, in 1930, died in 2018. We previously covered him in episode number 2. Butch Shannon was played by Orso Maria Giurini. He was born in Florence, Tuscany, Italy on October 25, 1943. He's a film, TV, voice actor, and singer. He's the brother of actress Ilaria Giurini. He's appeared in over 125 films and TV appearances from 1966 on till today. He was once married to actress Catherine Spock. He's appeared in 6 other spaghetti westerns. Okay, that does it for the film of the week. And now we'll get into the CD of the week. Okay, the CD of the week is Keoma. This was released in 4 different editions. The composers are Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. The first issue was out of Italy on hexachord. It was on HCD 9301. Came out in 1993 and had 9 tracks. All of the reissues are the same 9 tracks. The first one, which I just talked about by hexachord, has a value of $25 to $92, depending on condition. The second one, top left, was released on Synedelic Records hexachord out of Italy in 2001. It has a value of $65 to $158. Then reissue number 3 was by Germany by Chris's Soundtrack Corner, an independent release, CSC 029 in 2018. It has a value of $12 to $46. It's on the bottom left-hand side. And the last one, Keoma, out of Italy on Synedelic Records on CHLP 1001, was issued in 2022, has a value of $30. I've decided, since we can't play music, the only way to cover the composers and the singers and the musicians sometimes is to cover them when we do the CD releases. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the De Angelis brothers. The De Angelis brothers are composed of Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. Guido was born on December 22nd, 1944, and Maurizio on February 22, 1947. They were both born in Rocca di Papa, Lazio, Italy, which is a suburb of Rome. The brothers are also composed a singing group, and I'll get into those under aliases, but they're the brothers of singer Juniper, who is Emma De Angelis. I don't know her birthday, but it would have been in late 40s or early 50s. These guys have performed under several alias such as Barqueros, Black Inferno, Canary Jones, Dilly Dilly, Gli Amici di Rocky, I Charango, I Tre Masciateri, Juniper, Olindo, La Sola, Oliver Onions, Royal Jelly, and Willie Fogg. They've composed and recorded 15 spaghetti westerns from 1971 to 2011. I'll post their filmography after the broadcast. On to the singers. They were billed as Sybil and Guy. For a long time, the credit of Sybil was credited as Susan Duncan Smith. She was actually the songwriter of the songs, and she's the sister of Ian Duncan Smith, a British politician. The singer Sybil went by Sybil. Her real name is Sybil Sibyl Amarilli Mostert. She was born in Zimbabwe on April 14, 1954. After Keoma, she made and worked on several albums and appeared on the San Remo Festival. After 1990, she disappears from the scene. Her only recording in the spaghetti western genre is Keoma, where she sings in the duet. Guy was born Cesar de Natale. He's also known as Dandelion Guy Zanzaro. He was born on August 1st, 1943 in Florence, Tuscany, Italy. He's an author, writer, composer, songwriter, singer, and, as I said before, married to producer, actress, songwriter, and singer Susan Duncan Smith, who was from 1987. He was a member of the Holly Pops. Besides Keoma, he sings the songs Wolf and Snake on the soundtrack for A Man Called Blade. Okay, let's get into Book of the Week. Okay, Clint Dispara, A Trilogy de Dolaro, de Sergio Leone. This is a Spanish book. It's actually edited uh, by Victor Modellano, and it's a series of articles by Christopher Frayling, Carlo Gabersac, Juan Gabriel Garcia, Miguel Losada, and Jose Enrique Martinez. It's all about the Dollar Trilogy. It's got pictures, goes over each film, also has articles about the cast and the crew, and it came out in 2012. It has 391 pages, and it was published uh, by the editor. Okay, it's still available, but I don't know what the price tag would be on this. Well worth the effort if you speak Spanish. Okay, let's get into the posters of the week, and there's also an autograph of the week on one of the posters. Okay, Fury of the Apaches. That's a Belgian poster. And then for Keoma, I have the Belgian poster for that. And last but not least, I have the American Keoma the Avenger. And as you can see, it's signed by Enzo himself. Story about that was Enzo appeared in LA for a couple of days to get an award by a lighting company. And the day before, he was at USC, that's the University of Southern California. And my good friend Chris Casey came over from Arizona at that time, or he could have been still living in Oklahoma, but he flew in and we went to USC and were able to catch Keoma on the big screen. And then Enzo had questions and answer series after that, so we were able to get his autograph at that. The following day in Burbank, he spent the entire day with us. John Crummett and Chris Casey and myself drove up there and spent 8 hours with Enzo and his brother. I'm sorry, not his brother, his son. So that was quite an event. And he signed some more autographs, and we were able to ask him all kinds of questions on his favorite films and about Franco Nero and his favorite composer, which was Francesco De Masi. So it was great all in all. Okay, that'll end that. Now we'll get to the wrap up and news of the week. Okay, news of the week, and it's not much this week. We're getting into the dog days of August, and Europe is basically shut down, so not much coming out of there. But there is a USA release on DVD and Blu-ray of Get Mean, starring Tony Anthony, Lloyd Battista, and David Dreyer. It was released on August 23rd by Blue Underground. It's a single disc edition with both the DVD and the Blu-ray on it. It's Region 0, and it's in English, DTS HD 2.0. Also, it has English, Spanish, and French subtitles, running time of 90 minutes. Extras include an audio commentary with producer star Tony Anthony and co-writer star Lloyd Battista and executive producer Ronald Schneider. Story of the Stranger is an interview with producer star Anthony. Looking for Richard, interview with co-writer Lloyd Battista. Beating a Dead Horse is an interview with executive producer Ronald Schneider. Tony and I, an interview with director Fernando Baldi. And deleted scenes, a theatrical trailer, French trailer, radio spots, a poster, and still gallery. And an RIP, rest in peace, a young actor, really. Jean-Francois Wolff. He was a Luxembourg French actor who died in Luxembourg on August 21st. He was 59. He was born in Brussels on May 3rd, 1963. He first studied engineering in Belgium before switching to the arts. Andy Bosch, another sacred monster of Luxembourg cinema, spotted him and made him a member of his legendary Club des Chamours in 2003. Jean-Francois' career then continued between cinema and theater, the two arts giving an echo to his banter and his extraordinary verve. We see it in particular in JCVD with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Les Gars by Adolphe Elisal, or even Boule et Bill with Franck Dubosc and Marina Falls. He appeared as a prospector in Never Grow Old in 2019. So that'll wrap it up for this week. I'll see you next week. And until then, this has been a Roberto Genesi production. And adios, amigos.